In this video, we'll look at some ways to add some SEL checks into your Google Forms. So let's start by looking at a couple of student views of different forms. This first one is a middle school form, so I'm going to really quick pretend I'm typing in my name and choosing my class period so I can get to the SEL part. So right here we've built in an SEL check where the student gets to reflect on their learning, and we're using one critical feature is just to add emojis using your emoji keyboard or a Joy Pixels extension or whatever you like to use, and it gives them, just something to connect with. This is how I'm feeling right now. So let's just say I'm feeling really lost. I click that, and when I hit next, we've built in a little encouraging meme. So another critical feature might be to use a meme or a little GIF that will, kind of encourage or support the student as they go through there. When I go back, let's say instead of feeling lost, I kind of am getting it. So I'm going to click that one. And when I hit next, I didn't really need a meme on this one, but maybe I have some fun videos that will kind of connect them in. And then finally, if they get it and they're feeling really good about it, when you hit next, we've built in like this awesome, like a congratulations or encouragement meme here. So that's one example. Let's take a quick look at an elementary example. So here, the same SEL check has been built in, except for this time instead of the little emojis, we used a Bitmoji. So if you love your Bitmoji and you want to add that in there, or something more cartoony, you can add that image into each question and then they can connect with that. And the same thing, depending on which one they click, I'm lost, or I kind of understand, it will lead them to that section with some reteach or what they need. And of course, with the understand, the one that they really get it, we always build in something kind of extra at the end, like, yes, you did it, you got this, and you can keep going. So looking at the editing version of these forms, the way that we added SEL component is to use emojis in your questions that you're going to ask them, especially on these self-checks and check-in forms, which is what this is an example of. And so one of the easiest ways to do that is when you're typing, if you'll hit the Windows button and the period button on your keyboard, you get this Windows emoji keyboard. And you can use this pretty much anywhere across the internet or even on your device. And so I can search through here, and I might look for one that looks scared or lost or worried, and I click on it and it inserts it. And then I can come down to the next one, and I could put Windows P again, and again, look for one that kind of works for that one, and so on and so forth. One of the things I like to use is the Joy Pixels extension. It also works much the same way, but it has some more options there, so feel free to check out Joy Pixels in the Chrome Web Store to do that. So we can add in emojis. That's one way that we can add that in there. Another thing is, remember, we added in some memes. So one of the things that we like to do is either create our own memes or go out to a Google search and search for a meme that works for what we're doing, like an encouraging type meme, or it's okay, you got this kind of meme. And to get that in there, all you need to do is use this add image option, or if it's built within a question, you'll see the add image next to the question. So you just add the image, and then you use the options they have here for you on how to get that image. Now, just remember that we do have a whole video on how to add images and videos to your form, so I'm not going to go into detail here. So we've got our emojis, we've got our memes, and then finally, if you love your Bitmojis, that's another great way to do that. And so what I did is I went to my Bitmoji extension and typed in or searched for the ones that I wanted, and I had to save them to my device. And then I was able to add in the image by using the add image button that came up next to each of my questions. So like I can show you that here. If I go here, I'd have this button. I could click on that, and then I would find the one I saved. Just please note with Bitmojis, you can't just open the extension and copy them into here. You are going to need to have it saved on your device or in your Google Drive first. So again, those are just a couple of ways. One more bonus way, even though I don't technically have it on this form, instead of putting a meme here, I could have put in an animated GIF. So in the same way that you find memes, you can go out to Google or create your own animated GIFs that you can save on your device and then put those in there, and then you get a little bit of animation. So those are just some quick ways to add in those SEL checks. And of course, those are great things to add in if you're going to do a formative assessment during, before, or after your lesson. And just adding in those quick features, because the rest of the form is built just like our differentiated forms. You can watch that video to see all the features of how we made that work. But we just chose on these ones to add in those little SEL checks, and we think that's very valuable and useful to do with your Google Forms.